That is not a secret report. That is a public report. Each and everything in this government, this democratic government, there is no secrecy. We want the president to open up this report, publish this report, so that we must have access. We must scrutinize this report. What we are saying is that we want to hear the truth. It is very dangerous place to transport people in a military place. If anything has happened there on the plane, on their way to Zimbabwe, it could have been very serious damage to the country.
All right, so we're going to continue this conversation then. We're now joined by leadership expert Dr Mazwe Majola to weigh in on the issue. A very good afternoon to you, Dr Majola. As always, a pleasure having you with us here on SABC News.
Good afternoon, Flo, and thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
You know, you and I have had many conversations over this period and time as we've been dealing with the coronavirus, for example, about leadership in the country. And I do remember you saying at some point that it does seem that we have some kind of a leadership crisis or leadership problem. In terms of President Cyril Ramaphosa's sanction that he's now passed on to the Minister of Defence, docking a salary for 3 months, I mean, what is your reaction? Do you feel that this is now the president really showing leadership by this particular sanction?
Well, the president must be commended. At least he has done something. There has been some decision and some sanction that has been taken. The question will be: is it enough? Is it commensurate to the act? And I agree with those who say definitely is not enough. It's just a slap in the wrist. So unfortunately, we are dealing with a leader in President Ramaphosa. You can see that he wants to do something as a leader, but he's subdued, he is constrained. And we know that, of course, yes, he is an ANC deployee. So whatever he does, he finds himself in a big quandary. He must, of course, satisfy the country, but at the same time, he must also satisfy his party, the ANC. So he is in that quandary as a leader, because really, for reprimanding a minister just for 3 months' salary, to sacrifice 3 months' salary, definitely is not enough.
What would then be enough? We earlier spoke to a political analyst just before we spoke to you, Dr. Majola, Mr. Jamie Mighty, who said that the minister will feel it, that 3 months' salary dock certainly will hit hard. I know some of us would certainly feel it, but you're saying it's not enough. So if you're saying that's not enough, what would you think would then be enough? I mean, we've heard the DA and UDM, for example, saying that the minister should actually lose her position, should in fact be fired. Would you then take it that far, Dr. Majola?
Absolutely. You know, if it was another president, if he was in another country, definitely he would have fired the minister. Actually, even the minister would have stepped down, would have resigned herself even before being fired by the president. If we were living in a normal society which respects the law and respects the people, the people that they are serving. But now, because the ANC is governed by this culture of defiance and the culture of impunity and the culture of I don't care, we shall see, yes, they can do whatever they want to do, but nothing will happen to me. There is no consequence culture. So definitely I agree with those people who say the president should have fired the minister.
Interestingly, though, the IFP said that she can't be the only one to be punished and the only one to indeed face the consequences, that is, of having her salary docked for 3 months. And the IFP in fact said, that there certainly is a trail of people within defence who also indeed need to account, and it does seem as though everything is going to the minister. What are your thoughts on that? Should there be some kind of, and I know South Africans are probably tired of commissions and so forth, but should there be more in terms of holding other people accountable? As some are saying, it seems that the Minister of Defence is being the sort of scapegoat in all of this. She couldn't have just made the decision by herself.
No, well, the pressure was from the ANC, but she is the leader of that department, and it's true that you must go for a bigger fish. I think in South Africa there's always been this culture that you go for officials. Officials are always the slaughters, they're always the sacrificial lambs, and the politicians will always get away with murder, and the officials will be the one who bear the brunt. So I think it's good to go for the minister, and the minister is the person who's responsible for that department. Going for the officials really will be, this thing that each and every time politicians do something and the officials are the one who bear the brunt, I think it's very unfortunate. And it's very dangerous because you are going to lose very competent and good and diligent people who are working for government, but also you are going to find people who won't be interested to join government at a senior official level, because people will be knowing that anything that happens, then I'll be the one who will be a sacrificial lamb. So the minister is the one who is responsible and is the one who must be accountable.
There was a conversation about ANC conflating party and state, and I wonder what you think about that. We also heard the president saying that the minister acted, it was an error in judgment. And I wonder, when one has been a leader and, in very senior government for as long as the minister has been, is there room for that sort of what's being called an error in judgment? Certainly, there are some errors at some point that you really shouldn't be making when you are in a particular position for that long. Can we perhaps see it indeed as just an error in judgment, as the president has said?
Not at that level. Definitely, this is just beyond an error of judgment. Not at that level. This is the gross offense. This is the gross negligence, and it requires a tough sanctions, not just a reprimand. Just an error. A junior person can commit just an error, but not at the level of a minister who has been in the government for so many years. You really expect some level of maturity and some level of diligence and of seriousness and accountability from her.
I think I should have separated my two questions. In terms of the ANC conflating party and state, is that a real issue in this country where the ANC seems to believe, well, we are the government, so we can do what the government would be able to do? Is that a serious issue, and what indeed then needs to be done to make sure that we don't have these sort of situations?
It is a serious issue because, you can see that for ANC leaders to go to Zimbabwe using that aeroplane, there was some level of, we are the governing party, let's go there. And it's conflicting the president, because Ramaphosa is the president of the country, and is the president of the ANC. What he has done right now, he has acted as the president of the country, but he has not acted as the president of the ANC, because we still need to see what he's going to do to those leaders, because now all of a sudden the party must pay or reimburse hundreds of thousands to the government. So that even those leaders need to be accountable for that. So in another organization, you would say that those leaders have put the organization to disrepute. So they must be punished and they must be disciplined. So we still need we are awaiting to see that what is going to happen now at a party level, because where is the ANC going to get this money? It's a lot of money that they need to reimburse the organization. And again, there is no time frame from the president of the country to the ANC as to when that money must be paid. In his letter, he's just said that the Minister of Defence must let him know once that has happened. Yeah. But now there is no clear indication, or rather clear indication or stipulated time frame that by this time this money should be repaid or reimbursed the government. So that has just been left hanging.
All right, Dr. Majola, always a pleasure. Thank you, as always, for giving us your time here on SABC News. Cheers, sir.